That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to three things you really like as a Notre Dame fan, and three things you really don't like as a Notre Dame fan as we exit the North Carolina game edition of the Always Irish Show. I might also add, the Always Irish Show, brought to you in part by USA Today, Fighting Irish Wire, and their network that Always Irish is a part of. Stay tuned. A lot of articles, okay? Read it. See me yell about it here. Read it there. Connect the two in your minds. It's wild, okay? YouTube, hit subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up if you'd approve of the content. Helps in the search algorithm. Notifications on, that way you be alerted every time a new episode drops. Twitter, search bar Always Irish, rat, Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want me, you can get me. Call in line, 312-900-8815. Call in lines popping. Call in lines popping. Here's the deal. I just got done with the Monday morning call-in show. Had some lunch, ran some errands. Now I'm back to record the afternoon content. And the vibe was positive, and it's great. People this morning on the call-in line were just thrilled to see an offense that looks anything like it's from real life, like just any progress, all of that. So the vibe this morning was justifiably upbeat. All right? Justified. That being said, no one in the Notre Dame fan base is acting like this team is where it needs to be and as good as it's going to get and everything was perfect against North Carolina. No. There are still improvements that need to be made. And today we're going to go over three things I loved and three things I didn't like about the ball game. I like doing this, and I like assigning the numbers to it, 3 and 3. It makes it really easy then to have those bullet points stuck in your head. Going into a bye, it's fantastic. And when we get out of the bye and into the desert, let's see how we develop on each of these 6 items in Las Vegas in 2 weeks. All right? So here's a couple things to start with. Just getting them out there, then we're into the list. Credit Tommy Rees. He put together an offense against North Carolina that fits our personnel, their skill set, what they're currently capable of, and made it doable for Drew Pine to run everything and not be overwhelmed and look good and play well. I credit Rees a lot for that game plan. It was exactly what it needed to be. I'm frustrated. It took us a month to figure it out, but I'm glad we got there. So if those can both be true at the same time, whatever. Credit Rees. The game plan was gorgeous this week. I also wish we would have pivoted to more of this look 2-3 weeks ago. Okay? I guess I can't blame you for what you looked like against Ohio State, because you could always say we haven't seen a game yet. We didn't know what we really had yet. Maybe we thought the wide receiver room was further along than they are, or we could get more out of them or whatever. Didn't work out. So credit for the game plan in Chapel Hill. A little frustrated we didn't see it sooner, I think, is a perfectly fair way to look at Rees right now. Also, credit to Pine. He's tough. Made some really clutch, good plays, good throws. Ton of credit to him. He's never going to be Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Lawrence. No, he ain't going to be Cam Newton. No, he's doing all you could ever ask Drew Pine to do. Take care of the ball, run the offense, get it where it needs to be, move the chains. Great job. Pine is playing better than I thought he would, and he deserves full credit. Great job. Tough guy. Notre Dame tough. That's the kind of kid all of us love and want to see succeed. Notre Dame tough. So, that all being said, let's get into this. 3 things to like, 3 things to not like from that ball game in Chapel Hill. Number 1, I just mentioned it, Drew Pine. Drew Pine, all right, protected the ball, made just enough plays with his legs that they have to keep honest on it, made some really good throws. Good job. Good job. Not a great circumstance that he was thrown into with the Buckner injury. Line wasn't playing good. No wide receiver play. Very, very tough for Drew Pine. He's doing a great job right now. Keep it moving. Great job. Like number 2, the balance on offense. We had almost 300 yards on both sides of the ball, or not both sides, but running it and throwing it. We were in the high 280s on both. I absolutely love that. That is perfect balance, and they were both working. That's the thing about balance. A lot of teams are like, well, we need to establish the run, and we're going to throw it, but we need to establish the run too. And they run it 20-something times into a wall for no yards just so they could say they're balanced and they tried to do it. That's not the kind of balance I'm looking for. I'm looking for balance, meaning it's working on both sides, not just your attempts to force something that isn't working. Almost 300 yards on both sides of the ball. I understand North Carolina is very not good on defense. I don't care. We needed this kind of performance for the confidence of the team. Good job. Love the balance. Like number 3, I felt like the linebacker play has not been good enough, needed to get better, and it did get a little better. It ain't perfect, but it got a little better. Only allowed them 67 yards rushing all day. Good job. After the first drive where May ran on us, the linebackers tightened it up. They were hitting him when he did run and not losing that perimeter edge the way we were in the first few games. So, improved play by that group. Kaiser led the team 9 tackles, Maris 6. It ain't the finished product, but we're getting there. So we got some progress. Like to see it. Time for the don't likes. Don't like number 1. Slow start again. You give up a touchdown on the road in the first drive against a hot offense and a hot young quarterback who was feeling himself at that point. Undefeated, tied for first in the country in touchdowns, all that. He was feeling himself, and you let him go right down the field, clown you, run on you, throw on you, score. Then we get the ball and go 3 and out. We got away with it this week. Notre Dame's not good enough to overcome those starts against Clemson, against BYU in 2 weeks, against USC, against maybe even Syracuse, who I believe is undefeated, and you go to their place in a few weeks. So you got away with this slow start. And it wasn't just on one side of the ball. You gave up a touchdown and then went 3 and out. So you failed offensively and defensively to start. Got away with it this week. Not going to forever. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Don't like number 2. I know this is nitpicky, but this game appeared at least 14 points closer than it should have. We had a fumble going into the end zone. I know Estime had a great ball game. Ton of yards, 2 touchdowns. Should have been 3. I can't have you fumble there. And then horrible pass defense, and before you know it, they score again. That's a 14-point swing on a fumble going in the end zone and a botched coverage can't happen. Can't happen. I know that's a luxury item, but don't like to see that. This game wasn't as close as that score. Little bit frustrating. Clean it up. So now we got issues to open the game, issues to end the game. Luckily for us, we did enough in the middle. Won by a lot. Won by a lot. Don't like number 3. It felt like we were in control all day. May still had 5 passing touchdowns. Listen, I just don't like the idea that you're letting a guy that can't even go buy beer at 7-Eleven pass for 5 touchdowns on you. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It felt like we were in control, but I don't like letting that guy pass for 5 touchdowns on you. And some of them were cheapies, miscommunication, busted coverage, bad communication, whatever. But you better tighten that up on the back end. Right when Notre Dame people started to say, they started to feel more and more confident in the back end in that secondary, they got a little loose. Tighten it up over to bye. Tighten it up. So those are my 3. Likes, Pine, the balance on offense, and the improved linebacking play. And on defense, don't like, or on the flip side, number 1, don't like slow start to the game. Number 2, that 14-point swing. And number 3, tighten it up on the back end. I can't be having you giving up those chunk pass plays and quick scoring drives when we're going to have trouble scoring on offense probably most of the year. I think this output was nice to see. Nobody can deny some of why we were able to do what we were able to do is because they're that bad on that side of the ball. Okay? So, but overall, given an 0-2 start, and specifically the gut-wrenching nature of Marshall, not only just from the actual loss to Marshall, but the loss of Buckner and what that did to the whole team this year, and development in the quarterback room long-term, which isn't a discussion for the day, but is a big picture item. Good job, man. Given that 0-2 start, Notre Dame's going into the bye feeling as good as you could probably feel. That's as much momentum as you could have going into the bye, doing what we did to start the year and those results and how it looked and how it felt for the team, the staff, and the fans. Get healthy, take a breather, recalibrate, and build on the successes and the foundation pieces you have found. This bye is a great opportunity for that. This is an ultra big test for Freeman. How's Notre Dame going to look coming out of his first bye? How's he going to structure that? Physical, lay off guys? What are we going to do? All right. We started slow in this game off no bye. And we started slow in the Cal game off no bye. Maybe we'll come out totally different after the bye. I don't know. But I want to see how Marcus handles this. This BYU game is a big turning point, folks. After BYU, you have Stanford and UNLV at home. That's time to eat. Time to eat. So you got 2 wins. Can you get 3 by clipping off BYU and run off a 4 or 5 game winning streak heading to Syracuse? That's the goal now. Let's get it done. Rest up, rest your minds, rest your body, rest your soul, recalibrate, and get ready for war in the desert.